What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and my alt account in 2020, doing a playthrough of the game's base progression. Now, I know I just did a Chaos 7 for the first time video, but I wanted to close out this playthrough with a legit Chaos 7 win without any questions, without lowering my Ascension or doing anything else. This character here is straight up Ascension number 80, as you see, with a champion score of 5392. I do have a few upgraded shards for my hero, however, not very many, and I'm completely banking on the trifecta of shards, which without a doubt is Destruction, Deadly Strikes, and Defense Rate. Now at this point in the playthrough, I've actually only got one full set of them, and this set of shards, ideally, you're going to want in every single defense that you're using as you just start playing the game. Now, Destruction comes from Chaos 1, Deadly Strikes comes from Chaos 3, and Defense Rate comes from Chaos 4. I was really hoping to be using a Petrify combo by combining the Poison Dart Tower and the Earth Shatter Tower. However, its effectiveness is going to be very dependent on shards as well. And the Earth Toss Shard from Chaos 4, and then the Explosive Poison Shard from Chaos 5 are both extremely important shards and can help out your Petrify combo quite a bit, particularly early in game. So without these two shards, I'm not really going to go ahead and use the Petrify combo. However, if you have those two shards, it is a very, very solid build. There is just no doubt about it. Now, in addition to that, I never got that Crane Stance shard that I was looking for, so I'm still DPSing on the Huntress with that mixed set of shards and gear. Once again, it is a tower defense game, so it's all about your defenses. It is not about having a decked out hero. Since we're running into Chaos 7 now, we're going to have every one of the Chaos enemies except the Cyborg. Now, Chaos 7 has a new enemy, the Flying Cobalt, or also known as the EMP Cobalt. This is a flyer that will come out of the regular ground lanes, and they will instantly dive bomb your towers. So if you have a tower within range, this particular flyer is going to come out and dive bomb that tower. Even if it doesn't destroy it, it does leave behind a stun similar to the Cyborg stun. So we've got one natural defense once again, and I realize this entire playthrough has been me spamming auras. However, if we look at the enemies that are present, we've got a shielded enemy that doesn't like projectiles. We've got a reflective shield enemy that doesn't like projectiles. We've got a berserker that we can really use any defense on. We've got assassins, which we can use any defense on. And we've got the hex throwers, which we can use any defense on, but they do have ridiculous range. Now, all of these combined together out of the original 4 heroes, if you don't have the proper shards to do other setups, means auras are just gonna wreck it. There's no doubt there. Now, for this first Chaos 7 run, I am gonna hop into one of the pirate maps, and we're gonna take a ride on the Jack Sparrow, and for one main reason, and I'll show you why here in just one moment. And here we are on Chaos 7, the Jack Sparrow, and the reason I chose this map is holy bejesus, would you look at the amount of defense units we have. 2,000 defense units, where really, if you look at the map, not by how many gates there are, but by how many lanes there are, there's only 4 lanes plus a flyer lane on this map. We've got one lane right there. We've got a lane coming up those stairs. We've got a lane coming up those stairs. And then we've got another lane right over here. Now, there will be 2 flyer lanes, one on each side. However, they will converge on the same point. And it's very easy to use one set of defenses to completely wipe those flyers out. So for this run, I am going to be using the Mighty Skyguard Tower. No particular mod selection. I went with Anti-Support and Support Boom just because I had it. You see, this is a Chaos 6 relic. I do not have the proper shards for this relic. All I've got is Defense Rate and Destruction. Deadly Strikes would make my life so much better here, but I don't have one, and if you don't have one, then obviously you can't use one. On the Flamars, we're going with this anti-mini-boss and defense range, and you know what? It's actually debatable on whether or not those two should be swapped, as the range would be much better on my Skyguard. I'm just going to go ahead and go with it here, and then once again, we're using the trifecta: Destruction, Deadly Strikes, and Defense Rate. So let's go ahead and get things started. We know we do, or will, have the flyer lanes coming in from right here, so let's give a nice, healthy flyer defense. We'll throw 2 Skyguards for each lane, 4 Skyguards in total, since we do have so much DU on this map. Now, once again, we are going to be spamming auras. Now, I am not all decked out. My auras, as you see, are doing 222,000 DPS at tier 1, so they are just not super strong. So I am still going to use some walls, and I'm going to put one wall. Let's see, where do we want it? I think I'm going to put one wall right there. I'll go with another wall right over here. And then, of course, we're going to need some at the tops of the stairs. And I actually just turned this 4-lane map into a 5-lane map, but that is in large part due to having to be dependent on these wall builds. Let's see, what do we want to do here? I'm still going to build far back on this lane. Do we have any hex throwers? We actually don't have any hex throwers right now out of these 2 lanes, which would make it pretty darn easy just to wall it off right here and spam it up. You know what? I think I'm going to. Let's go ahead and just wall that bad boy right there. And then now we've got 1,620 DU left for a absolutely absurd amount of flame auras. And I am going to get as many flame auras as I can into every single one of these lanes. So I'm going to cover basically every square inch of the map that I'm able to with flame auras. I'm going to go ahead and do up top first. Now up top I am going to camp them pretty heavily at the spawn. However, of course, I do want these flame auras running the lengths of the lanes. So I'm just going to go one wide all the way up until we get to the spawn itself. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. Can we sneak one in? We can sneak one in there. And then here, right at the spawn, we're just going to go as heavy as we can. In fact, I think I'm going to go with 4 of them right here like this, as we do just have so darn much DU. Can I sneak another one in? I can actually sneak another one in right there. And then now we've got the 2 lower lanes. Now, we've got just a ton of DU left. We're only at 1,130 of the 2,000 now. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to start off at the walls and just spam it down to the point where we get to the openings where the lanes are at. And then I'm just going to go as heavy as I can all the way up to the spawns here throughout, just to ensure that there is absolutely silly amounts of aura coverage. Now we could go a little bit further here, but we'll just start right here since we're over here. And let's go straight down the lane. This map is absolutely wonderful for this ridiculous amount of DU, and it does make it a really, really nice first time transition map, that's for sure. Can I go one more right there? I would have loved to have gone one more right there. Let's just go ahead and keep spamming them up. Wow, we still have enough DU left for 2 more after all that. Holy crapola. Well, let's go ahead and just go with 2 of them right here like that. Now, I would say, I think most would agree, the map is effectively spammed with auras out to what. We got 400 DU left. Since my flyer defense, those Skyguards do not have the trifecta of shards, and I'm missing one of them. I'm going to go ahead and dump this remaining 400 mana into upgrades on my flyer defense here, just to get as much flyer killing power as I can right up front. And then away we go. And let's see how wave number 1 treats us. Now, one real downside about this map is the mini-map is very confusing. There's no doubt about it. The mini-map just shows stuff all over the place. And it's hard to tell what is actually up at your core and what is just downstairs underneath your core. It's very difficult to identify exactly what's happening by the mini-map. But as long as you have some good effective coverage, go get them, Skyguards. Jeez, there we go. They wrecked it up. As long as you have some effective coverage, as you see, these berserkers are actually not even making it to the walls. So that is kind of surprising for me with that whopping 200,000 or 222,000 DPS on these. However, it's getting it done. It is enough to get it done. Now, if I would have had a defense rate mod, remember that your most important first stat to get to when doing your base level progression on your defenses is the defense rate. You want your defense rate to be at the cap, which means you want that defense to be hitting as fast as it can. Now, if I was at the maximum, it would say max right next to my attack rate here, so I am not at the max, meaning that just a regular defense rate shard is not going to get us all the way there. So I'm confident we're still going to be able to beat Chaos 7. However, to get all the way down to those speed caps, a defense rate mod of absolutely any quality can be put on to these flame auras, and that would have a definite nice impact on the DPS of them. There's just no doubt about it. So since this lane, the walls took the most abuse, let's get our first big round of upgrades in right over here. And I think everything else was pretty solid, so I'm just going to let the next wave start. And then I will upgrade this front lane up here, I believe. Just to make sure we're good and taken care of here. Actually, I think some of these flame auras are even going to have 0 damage done by the end of the map. And that's with 222,000 DPS, remember. Lots of flyers, that's for dang sure. Sadly, I do absolutely no damage to them. For me, since I don't have a single DPS hero set up right now, the correct shards or stats on any of them, I am going to have a challenge with bosses. There's no doubt about it. And that will be my big hurdle, just to break into this Chaos 7 tier for the first time. However, I am pretty confident, since we've got walls in place, that I'm still going to be able to make it happen and get through the map. You see we've got a Malthius, just happens to be right here. That is pretty darn convenient. Thanks there, Malthius. And you see the mobs are just a little bit healthier now than they used to be. So it's taken me just a little longer to get through them. If I would have found that crane stance shard, I would be on my monk right now, and those problems would really be completely eliminated. So it looks like, are they on a wall over there? Or no, it was just some enemies down below waiting to die. Now this wall did take a little damage that time. I think I will at least get the stairs upgraded here. Actually, we got enough to go ahead and run around down here a little. So let's go ahead and spam some more upgrades throughout the lower deck here. Make sure we're all good and squared away. Actually, with upgrades in place, what are we at now? At Tier 2, we're at 333,000 DPS, and we're still wrecking it. And it's just a matter of using a defense that matches the enemies that are present. It's 100% a game of counters. So countering enemies and using the correct defense for the job is what will get your base level progression done. And then further on in-game, as you have climbed to Chaos 7 already and built out your heroes, then you're going to have more accessibility to end-game builds that are going to allow you to use defenses that you want to use and not necessarily the defense that you're supposed to use. So we're still getting it done here. I'm very curious about these flyers, because not having that range on the Skyguard is really hurting it, there's no doubt. I mean, they're getting wrecked once they get close, but God, they're getting so close. That is really just my main concern right now. You know, let's see, we got Tuskar up here, and then we got Slakelion on another lane. I'm going to get Tuskar down first, because Slakelion is a bit of a slow walker. So let's get Tuskar burnt up first, and then we'll worry about Slakelion later. Boy, we got a ways to go. Oh, he punched me. Oh, Tuskar got the swing right in my face. Almost down. So close. And then once again, same as every other Chaos tier, no boss is going to make it through your walls if you're spamming repairs on them. You're just going to repair, or be able to repair, through any boss in the game. Keep your walls healthy, and you're just going to win the match. That's all there is to it. Now, that is not necessarily the case the further you push into the game. However, healthy walls that are spam repairable just make life so much easier. And what do we have for bosses now? We've got a Siege Roller coming there. We've got a Tuskar there, and we've got a Slakelion that I don't know where it is. I think it's going to be down below here. It could potentially be right here at this wall, though. Let's go ahead and check it out. I think it's below, right? Where the heck is it? Oh, it's over here on this wall. Alright, so we will want to make sure we're taking care of Slakelion right at the beginning of the wave. Once again, the same as every other boss. Just spam repair on your wall, and then DPS them down kind of at your leisure, and get as much help, of course, from your defenses as you can. Wave 4, though, it's going pretty smooth. Another thing is this map does have high mob counts. But don't be intimidated by the high mob counts, because remember, there is just so many lanes on the map. So even though there's high mob counts, the mobs are coming out super, super fast. So it's not a terrible map to do. Not by any means. In fact, I think most people would agree it's probably one of the easier ones, just because of the excessive amount of defense units available. Let's see, one more stun, and we got rid of that ogre fairly decently. Let me go ahead and get healed up, because actually there's only one mob left, so there won't be any more assassins. But we've got plenty of time on Mr. Siege Roller here, so not overly concerned about that. Same thing, Siege Roller. Makes it to the wall, just repair the wall, and it's GG. I think we'll probably be able to kill this one before it makes it to the wall. We'll have to see. As you see, my DPS is absolutely horrible. And I think I'm going to die here. Yep, there we go. Little roller rocket to the face. We'll take care of that. So we're going to have to get that wall repaired, actually. So we'll see the wall repair versus the Siege Roller in action here. Actually, it's not even there yet. Oh, it hit it at a funky angle and it one-shot it. So we will not see the wall repair in action. That right there was a straight-up one-shot. But it was something to do with the angle that the Siege Roller hit it. It wasn't, it doesn't put out that much damage that fast. Let me go ahead and move that wall back a little bit here. And obviously didn't give you all a very good example on that one, but you guys get the picture. Just repair through the walls and it's GG. And here we go in wave number 5. Now, the assassins are coming out hot. I'm hoping the assassins are going to be dispatched prior to the bosses getting here, as that is the one thing that could really throw me off course for completing this map. That is for certain. Now, we're going to have a Siege Roller. I don't remember what the other bosses were. I think we got a Tuskar and a Skelly, maybe. But this could be a challenge. Particularly if the assassins... I'm going to go ahead and throw an upgrade on a wall just to be safe. 90 mobs. Okay, here we go. We got Tuskar. Let's get Tuskar dealt with first. I'm going to ignore those flyers. We've got a Sparkle Party to use to hit the assassins and the boss at the same time. And let's get Tuskar dealt with quick. Don't you be hitting me, Tuskar. Alright, Tuskar is as good as dead. I'm just going to let him die. And let's head over here to get this wall spam repaired. Holy crap, it's got 2 bosses on it. Or no, one of them died. Okay, so all we've got left is the Siege Roller. But here you can see, as long as you're present to repair your walls, there's just nothing that any of the bosses can do. You're just going to be you're just going to be able to repair right through them. So we see the siege roller chunking off the damage, and we're just going to spam repair it right back up to full without any issues. Now I'm all careless trying to show that point here, and if I die, I may end up having problems. So let me try to stay on the move here and hopefully get this siege roller wrecked up. Now once again, it's down to not having any damage, so I just don't have any damage set up. I think I'm going to be okay here even with that death. We're going to have to see how quick I can get over there. The wall is about to go. Am I going to make it? Nope, I didn't make it, but only 8 mil left. I think we're going to have plenty of time to get this roller beat up on before we get out of the map. And there we go. So there is our first Chaos 7 win. We finished the map at Ascension 82. And as you see, well, let's try to find my highest upgraded flame aura here. Let's see, where is my best one? This one right here is tier 5. And at tier 5, oh, it's doing 666,000 tooltip DPS right here at tier 5. So not massive damage output, it's just using the correct defense to counter the enemies that are present. And that's one thing that you will find will completely define your experience in Dungeon Defenders 2. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button and please subscribe to the channel. And I will be back soon. See you next time.